How are we doing? Is it better? The chat starts blank again. I have no idea. Zero. When chat started, I wish it gave you the last couple of minutes of comments. Here we go. Fixed. Saved. Okay, give it a minute. See if it sets up smoothly. Maybe we're okay. Who knows? Sorry about that. It's clearly something at this end. I can't blame anybody else this time around. Sorry about that. Tell you what, let's turn that off for safety here. I did get a message. OBS is flashing. Encoding overload. Blame the truck driver. Yeah. Okay. Okay, let's do our postponed peel here. How's the time? 9:01. I'm not sure why it would suddenly misbehave on the computer itself, and I restarted it just before the stream. Now, this is not going to work even remotely close because the paper now is totally dry. Let's work on the wet one here. That's still a bit damp. You can see how thin it is. Let's do half of it here. Is it dropping? No, it seems okay. Please, no judging here. This is not that kind of a situation here. No, in fact, it's better not even to peel. What she'll do with this then, she will work when she starts carving. She will get her oil on whatever area she's carving on. She will rub it with oil like this. And that turns it transparent so she can see what's going on. But that's not my job. If I did this now, rub this with oil, it would make this thing loose and it might peel off in places. So that's something she will do herself on her own time. Okay, I've got to keep going. There's 8 of them to do. 8 of them to do. I guess I can start one more. This is one complex print. You can see, here's the color separations. You can see the kind of stuff. It's all different layers of gray and blue and green and whatever that form a landscape here. This is obviously part of the water. There's water flowing down, there's depth in the background. What's this? Again, you can see the shape of the thing. There's stones and moss. This must be one of the green blocks, I think, that prints the moss. Here's another one. It'll be another block for the moss and the stones. And another one. So just layer by layer by layer by layer by layer, it builds up. This is going to take her a long, long time to do this one. This is the 11th print this year. What will she carve? The black, the pink. On this one, she's going to leave what you see as black. She will leave this black mottled strong area. Everything you see as red and pink here will disappear. The reason we printed the pink is to show her where the edge of the black is. The pink line is the edge of those maple leaves. So she'll bring her black halfway into each line. That's the information we didn't get from Jed. Yeah, this is a complicated one. Absolutely, this is a complicated one. He wrestled with it at his end, and we're going to wrestle with it at our end. This is a tough one. Yeah, it's funny, I just showed you those layers one by one by one, and when you think about it, if you were really good at it, if you've got some kind of, it's like a good musician can look at the score of some musical composition. Of course, there's the flute, there's the horns, there's the strings, and inside your head, if you're really, really good at it, you can look at the score and make the music in your head. Can anybody do that with this? Make a print? I don't know. Got that? Got that green in your head? I don't think so. Even with my experience, there's no way I could do this. There's no way. I can tell you, okay, I see the general idea. This is a valley. There are rock shapes. If we print those with green, they'll look like moss. There will be a gloomy area at the back and the top of the print. So I can get a mental idea of what sort of thing we are trying to make. But can I sit here? Yes, it's beautiful. No, there's no way I can do that. We're going to construct this thing step by step by step. We're going to construct it. How's our time? A bit scrambled today, 9:08. The show and tell actually today could be a long one, it could be short. We can do whatever we want with it. It's a bunch of stuff. It's 53 pictures, and I shouldn't have bought them because they are not woodblock prints, and we should be here in the pandemic era. No idea where our business is going this year. We should not be wasting our money on stuff that is outside of our normal line of business. But I couldn't resist when I saw this the other day. The auction system here, there's no eBay here. It's all done through Yahoo. They dominate, absolutely dominate the auctions here. There's another one, Mercari, but the Yahoo's just got them beat heads and tails. And now after buying on Yahoo auctions here for like 18 years, they know my preferences. So of course they send recommendations. And last week they sent a recommendation. I first clicked, no way, I'm not interested in that. But something looked interesting in the thumbnail, so I clicked through to it, and whoa. I thought, this is a beautiful object that I would like to have and study, but it's not woodblock prints. It's not directly related to my work. Can I justify getting this? And I managed to talk myself into it. It's drawings. It's from the middle of the Meiji time, and what it is, it's a stack of thin sheets of Gampi paper, and some artist of the day either an art teacher or an artist or a person who made a living as an illustrator, and he had drawn things. On one sheet he'd draw this, another sheet he draws this, another sheet he draws this, puts them on his desk, they get stacked aside. 100 years later they come out, and beautiful, beautiful, beautiful drawing. And the excuse for us is we're thinking that we can find material in there for some of our prints at some point in the future. I guess basically the reason I bought it was because it's just so skillfully done. It's beautiful work by some guy who was so good at what he did. And then the other reason is because almost nobody else wanted it, and the price just didn't go anywhere. Didn't go anywhere. If it had been really expensive, then I would have just passed. It's out of my field. I can't justify buying it. But because the price stayed in joke territory, I was able to buy it. Just let me get this one pasted down, and we'll go and look at that book just a minute. Somebody might be wondering. The other day on Show and Tell we showed part 1 of a book, and I still have got part 2 here. It's not that. We're going to postpone that for 2 reasons. One is this other one looks so cool. I want to talk about it today. And second is I really, really, really want to find out what's going on with that book. It's supposedly, by the title, children's scenes, but the content shows nothing of the sort. And I want to do a bit more research instead of just opening the package in public and looking like a fool because I don't know what's going on. Have you been talking about that one? Maybe, I don't know. All I can guess from that book, if those of you who were here that saw it the other day, is all I can guess is they meant children. It's an old usage of the word children, maybe. They just simply meant people, the people of the town. It was Edo scenes, it was festivals, and it was described as scenes of children's life. And maybe it just simply meant the people in the town on festival days having fun like kids. It could be a nuance, something like that. So when I said it was a book showing kid scenes, I was misleading. I'm sorry. So anyway, we'll look at it later. When I've learned more about it. It's okay. There's no rush. We've got lots and lots more stuff to see. Lots and lots more. So dropping again, nothing at this idea, it's all green here this time. Can children abuse poetically like native sons? Something like that, so. Okay. Let's get this stuff out of the way. Let's have a look at that book I was telling you about, that stuff I was telling you about. A desk full of crap here. Let me clean up. Okay, here's the box we got yesterday. Yeah, more than the sum of the parts. This is the deal, Each of the individual pieces looks like nothing, but when you put it together, when you put it all together, Okay, we are not going to be able to see all of this, but let's have a start. Here's the auction list. If I can find the link. Here's the actual. Here's the auction I joined in a few days ago. Put this aside for a minute. And what these are drawings. This is just somebody with a brush drawing stuff. And it's dated. It's got a name and a date. The guy's name is Okuda something Jiro. I can't read one of the characters. Okuda something Jiro. And it's dated Meiji 19. And then the rest is blurred. No idea. But the top date is clear. Meiji 19. Let's do a mix. There's 53 sheets here. And these are brush drawings, brush paintings. What would you say? The first one of these is in color. All the rest are going to be mostly in black and white or gray. I'm not quite sure the orientation of this. And I am no expert on this stuff at all, but this guy, I think this guy can draw. It's good fun. These are on super. This is like the kind of paper we use. It's not Gampi paper, it's Gasenshi. And so, somebody's already typing here, new woodblock prints, because are you thinking what I'm thinking? Yes. So that's the rationale when I decided, well, would I bid on this or would I not bid on this? Let's just flip through. They're in random order. The guy in the auction has scrambled them up. So we're going to see different. We're going to see theme A coming back to theme B, back to theme A, over to theme C, back to theme A. Let's just flip through the book here. It's not a book, it's a bunch of sheets. That was Hawks. This is a typical Chinese scene, done with sumi brush and then a wash of gray. And I think in my amateur view of this, I think this guy is pretty good at what he does. Can I reveal the price? I clicked the auction link. I just sent it a while ago. I clicked it. I think I spent 4,100 yen on this. What have we got? A couple of guys on a horse? I'm not quite sure. I mean, again, I'm just seeing these now. And there are so many of these that could turn into woodblock prints. A whole bunch of them are this. There's a bunch of what look like historical characters. Scenes from some action or event. I've got no idea who this is supposed to be. And this is exactly what we're looking at here would have been the first stage if there had been the way to make a woodblock print. Now, I don't even know who this guy is, or he's a famous print designer, nothing at all. But if Kuniyoshi or whatever had been, planning a woodblock print, this is how he starts. He gets his brush out and he draws character A and then character B and starts putting the thing together piece by piece by piece. And you can see even there's a piece stuck on top here. Do you see what's happening here? I don't know if you can see it. I'll outline it with my finger. Look, here. Can you see it? There's a piece of thin paper stuck on top. So he's first drawn this and he's got the foot at a certain angle. Jed does Command Z in Photoshop to redo it. No Command Z here too. So he sticks another piece of the paper on top and just draws on that piece of paper. This is exactly how the woodblock prints were started. Exactly how they were started. This is a bit of an outlier in the package here. It's just a character. A Dharma type character. Oh, it's an old guy. Okay, I get it. This is New Year's symbols, longevity symbols. And now we have a series of these. Maybe half of the prints of the pictures in this package, maybe half of them are like this. They are an identifiable character with a name. I'm not going to be able to read most of them. And these are now, it seems clear, these are people from history. This guy has tried to draw images of people from historical situations. This next little group is fairly simplistic. And these are readable. I can't read these, I'm sorry, it's a bit archaic classic writing, but these are absolutely readable. Somebody with knowledge of the old kanji will be able to read this. That's what I should do. Let me do it the other way around. Let me pull the deck so you can see it the right way around, and I'll take them off. There's a story here. Obviously, this is a historical character, and this is a story. There's a trunk, getting out of a trunk, getting into a trunk, hiding in a trunk, no idea. What was the date? I'm sorry, Meiji 19. What did that turn out to be? I'm sorry, I forgot. Probably John typed it, but I didn't catch it. I'm sorry. $1886. For that one. So I guess the rest in the batch are from a similar. This one looks to be not finished, or it could be, I'm going to just throw a guess out, rather than being finished, this could be representing someone like the famous monk from the 100 Poets, Semimaru, who was blind. And maybe this is his way of showing a blind monk. I'm just thinking out loud here as I see my way through these. Then, here's another batch. So much for historical characters. There's more later on. There's a whole batch of kids at play. And these are sketched on the paper in any which way orientation. For example, this is not one picture. Look at the bottom half of this. This is kids at play, done in very light washes with vermilion on them. Let's switch it around. And here we go. There's a kid with a horse, a wooden horse. The other kids are doing, some kind of play. And this is the next major theme here. There's a whole bunch with kids. And look at this. Where have you seen a bunch of images like this before? Where have you seen stuff like this before? If I could only pick one sheet from this batch, it's gasenshi. Gasenshi. It's the kind of paper you do calligraphy practice on. Gasenshi. We couldn't woodblot print this at all. And I mean, when you see this, your first shot is, oh my God, this looks like the kind of stuff they did for the Hokusai manga. I don't know if you know the story about the Hokusai manga got started. He's out there drinking. He's got some of his students there drinking and doing sketches. Gets a piece of paper. Let's do some sketches. Let's drink some more. And at the end of the night, they had hundreds of these sheets, all as the people had all partied and whatever. And somebody had the idea, let's publish it. And the story went longer. And it eventually ended up as the Hokusai manga. But it started as a party, a drinking party. And look at these. Where do we start? What are these people doing? This guy is so good at this. I mean, if this single sheet of drawing from 1885 had come up on an auction somewhere, you want to buy it, what would it have gone for? I have no idea. This is happening every day here in Japan on these auctions. All the houses in Japan, Ji-chan, Ba-chan, grandparents are living in these houses. They get older, they pass away, the kids come in to clean up the house, they open the drawers, there's all kinds of stuff in the drawers. Nobody knows what it is, they just throw it on auctions. There's scrolls, and nobody wants it. Nobody wants it. And so much of this sort of stuff, actually, it's a horrible story. So much of it just gets turfed. The kids come in to clean up the house and just turf it. How do I know it's really from the 1800s? Okay, I'm not an academic expert here who's going to do the X-ray crystallography that says the paper had such characteristics. This looks like it's from the Meiji era. The amateur Dave here simply knows it's certainly well over 100 years old. The paper, the tone of the paper, the condition of the preservation, the style of what's going on here, the very concept of what it is, it's from that era. Am I going to go to Sotheby's and say this is 1887, January the 31st? And, no, of course not. What's the oldest stuff I have? The oldest known dated object I have in my collection is 1775. There's a book that was published. We know, the historians know it was published in 1775, and I have a copy of it. The other thing about what we're seeing here, is this guy's not famous. He's no big name. He is no Hokusai. This is just daily normal level for people who could draw like this. This is just normal. This is probably not even special. This guy was not famous, Back to historical characters for a while here. And these are much rougher. These are like first level of sketch for some project that must have been thought about. This isn't rice paper. There's no paper here in Japan made of rice. This is gasenshi. Very, very common paper for calligraphy. And again, here on these ones, there is a story. These are recognizable people with a name and recognizable for some episode. Here, this next one's a bit of a different style and taste. This is three. Look, there's three separate pictures here. And the way we did it in woodblock prints too, they used to do that. They'd make three on one sheet, cut them apart. There's 1, 2, 3. So this is not a single image you're looking at. This is three separate images. The first one is an old courtier with a biwa, a lute. Second one, we've got a warrior in some classic situation with a horse. And I don't know what this is. What is it? Is it kids playing? Is it demons, chasing demons? I'm sorry, I don't know. First impression seems to be kids playing, but I don't know, I'm sorry. And could these be turned into prints? You bet they could be turned into prints. My God, they could be turned into prints. This one's good. Look at this guy. Look at this dude. A lot of these clearly seem to relate to Chinese tales. This one looks like a Chinese story, absolutely. We've got another in here. It's the same guy. It's Okuda Torijiro. I don't know. I'm sorry. I can't pronounce the name. We're like not even halfway through. It's whatever. Whatever. Should we just keep going? Whatever. I don't know. I'm all right. I'll just keep going down to the end here and show them. And these are Heian era courtiers, clearly. This looks like maybe Onno Komachi and Kakinomoto no Hitomaru toka. No idea. It's just so much pleasure. And I can't do this myself. I don't draw this myself. I'm not an expert. I really can't tell. Maybe some super expert in this would say, yeah, it's amateur work, Dave. Don't get excited about it. Every school teacher in his own home and his hobby time could do this. It's just amateur work. Don't sweat about it. And maybe that's so. Maybe so. I don't care. I think they are wonderful. I think a lot of this one doesn't. This one does look a little bit less, I don't know, what's the word? A little bit less accomplished than the last few. And it's quite possible that this is all not by the same person. This is, after 120, 30, 40 years have passed, we may not have all of the same stuff from the same person. I don't know. There's a held message here. It seems totally okay. Allow it to go through, no problem. I keep picking up two of them by mistake. The paper is so thin. Now wait a minute, didn't we see this guy before? Back at the beginning. there was a rough draft of a guy bursting through with a sword. I'm guessing it's the same thing. First sketch, this is maybe the next level. Back to the kids. No idea, all kinds of kids' games, no idea. Upside down, he's just using the paper. Oh, look at this. Kids in Japan must have done that. Somebody gets blindfolded. The pigments, it's mostly black. Of course, the lines are done in black. Then for these ones, clearly there's a vermilion pigment. But there's also, if we go back to this one, there's a gray. Well, it's the black with the water at that point mixed in, gray for tones. But again, I doubt very much that this is considered as finished work in any case. It's just sketchbook stuff. It's just, somebody's first level of sketchbook. So next step is maybe Rosan. She's working for us here. She's helping me with the catalog and stuff. We can put her on it. She can read this Japanese, and she can dig up some of the knowledge about who these people are. So we'll scan a bunch of these, shoot a bunch of these, put them in the collection just for fun. Because once we knew the episodes, once we knew what we were looking at, more kids, it's just all random here. These are a bit, look at this, really, really rough. Where are we here? What are they doing? They're all boys to show. Some kind of follow the leader game. Are they all boys? That's a girl in the middle. The leader's a girl. Those look like kids in maybe a temple school or something. Look at them, they're all head shaven. Maybe this is from a Teragoya, a scene like this one. So someone's joined in, is this my work? What is this? This is the end of our normal stream, what we call show and tell. And a few days ago, I found an auction in Japan. And this is a bunch of old sketches from about 140 years ago. Stilts, playing on stilts. And a hoop. So, kids, you could collect these all. Look at this, wow. And if we wanted to make prints with some of these, it's totally free. There's no copyright on something from something this old. And we would work the same way the old guys worked. Cut a key block first, or draw the lines. So here, this looks like Tanabata Festival. There's girls and boys here together. These are not head-shaven kids now. So that previous one must have been from a temple school. But this looks like just normal community kids at play. Summer festival. Yeah, Obon lanterns, Tanabata lantern. What's next? And again, they're mixed up. Oh, I saw this too yesterday. This one's a little disturbing. I'm not quite sure what to think about this. I'm not quite sure what to think about this. There is a name, so there is a character here. It's a guy about to draw his sword. And I'm not quite sure what I'm seeing here, and I don't really want to think about it too carefully, because I don't know. I really don't know what we're looking at here. They are named, so there is a historical scene involved here, but I think we'll pass on that. I don't know. More kids. Man, Japanese kids had so many different games. This one's curious. Are they skipping rope, like the rope is going round and round and that person in the middle is jumping? Or is this object here something to do with it? What is happening here? I would have just guessed it's skipping rope, but the rope has a loop. No idea what's happening here. Around and around. Drums, wonderful. Kids playing drums and dancing. Drums and dancing. More kids, just it doesn't stop. What have we got here? This looks like a fireworks. This is a summer scene. Someone's sitting on the bench with a fan. It's hot. The other kid here has, and I think, we saw in one of our print books a while ago, there was a certain firework thing where you'd put it on a stand, light it, and it spun on the stand. And I think this is a little fireworks demonstration at home. Yeah, Catherine wheel, something like that. More. Sorry about this. It just keeps going. I'm okay if you're okay, whatever. What are they doing here? It's kites, I guess. Clearly it's kites. Big ones, small ones. Oops, that's the other way around. Okay. They've just used every bit of the paper. Not quite sure what they're doing here. Is it some kind of doll in the middle? It's dancing? No idea. Someone's bringing food and drink. That's some kind of top game? What are they doing? Scooping something up? Playing polo, somebody says. Maybe, I don't know. Golf, yeah, there it is, golf. What's this one? The kid's got a pull toy. The girl here, she's got a pull toy, a thing with wheels and a fish. Whatever floats your boat, maybe back in the old days before TV and radio, you know. Not sure what those kids are doing. And what's this one? It's some kind of bow? No idea. Pet fish? Yeah, take your fish for a walk. Right. Back to the historical dudes, the ones with no names. This guy's pretty chill. 140 years ago. I'm not sure what he's holding in his hand, but he looks pretty chill here. And again, I have no idea whether these are all the same artist, just using different brushes and different styles, or whether these are different things mixed together. I really don't know, I'm sorry. The ones that have his name on do seem similar. This one seems a much rougher. Like if I was going to guess, this is from one of the students or something. This is, look at this, nowhere near as competent. Nowhere near it. So perhaps this guy was a teacher, a drawing teacher, and other stuff is mixed in. I don't know. Oh, here we have the Mighty Hunter. Look at this. Bow and arrow. And over here we have a dead deer with an arrow in its neck. About 10 left or so maybe, who knows, not sure. Not sure the head and the face there. If it was a woman, I would have thought those were fake eyebrows. But in the case of a man, I don't know. I've never seen that on a male before, so I don't know. Oh, look at this, look at this, look at this, look at this. Look at this, look at this. Get the idea here? This is a design, a preliminary design for a fan. It's cut, look at the, you can see the drawing on the outside, the curved shape. It's a preliminary design for a fan. And this makes me feel that this guy actually was some kind of pro illustrator. And that a lot of this stuff is actually just first level sketches for something that he would have been doing as work. You know, he might sketch it like this first, just for himself to get it ready and get it sorted out. And then he would sort of do it the same way that Jed does. Once you've got your basic sketch worked out, and you want to send it into the publisher, you get another piece of gum paper on top, another piece of Gasenshi on top, and using the one below it as a guide, you then do the careful line drawings and get your ruler and do the outside and stuff like that. Then that copy goes off for the block cutting. And this could be just the stuff that's left in his studio after that work was done. And look, the building here, it's row. There's no care taken in the line here. It's not straight. But in the finished design, those things would have had to be done more carefully. So these have every feeling that these are preliminary sketches for work. This guy wasn't just a dilettante. I think we're looking at a pro illustrator, and this is just part of his leftover sketchbook. It's my first level guess of what we're looking at. But I think this guy was good. As I said, I'm not in any way an expert on this, but the basic stuff, the trees, the fabrics, all that stuff seems to be extremely competently done. Here we go back a level. This is the way back, the first level of roughness. You just throw your brush down and get stuff on a piece of paper. Again, this one less competent, and either it's just a different person or it's just the first level. Bang, 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 throw something on paper. Two farmer ladies, hoeing and carrying water. Well, these aren't signed, but as I said, I don't think this is work that was going out. This is simply sketchbooks. Preparing for a project, just rough sketching, preparing for a project. You'd never sign stuff like this, of course. You're just sketching. Grab a piece of paper, put some ideas down, grab it and put some more down. What have we here? This one looks a bit different. My God, look at this. It just doesn't end. What have we got here? Ladies, these are very, very old-fashioned hairdresses. This is a hairdress system from with more 1,000 years before this guy drew this. It's a board game. Looks like a backgammon type board game. And again, no relation. It's even a different color ink, just to use the same piece of paper. What have we got here? A bunch of guys planning something. He's got a map. Guy on the left has a map or a chart. Back to the hunters. This is a different drawing though. Look at this. Guy in a deer suit. You tell me what's going on here. Guy in a deer suit with some kind of pot with liquid in it. And then his friends, the hunters, and he's already copped a rabbit. So what's the deal here? The guy in the deer suit is this the, what's it called? To attract the other deer? Really? Is a deer that dumb that he's going to fall for this? Or it's a historical reference, which is also quite likely. Yeah, that's an idea too, theater. It could be a theatrical scene, of course, absolutely. A couple stuck together here. A lot of these show these kind of marks. Now, there's some holes and stuff. They've been, or the paper itself, it was a pad of paper the guy bought, or they've been sewn together after the drawings were made. I don't know. These two are stuck together. I can't separate them. So, archery practice or whatever, arch. There's the same name. We have the same name as we saw before. It's here we are. So it's Okuda. I can't read. It's not Takejiro, no. So every time we see a name coming up here, it's always the same name. So that's the guy's name, Okuda. Okuda Shimajiro. I don't know. I'll have to get someone to read it for me. Okay, almost done. 3 or 4 left. Then we'll move on. This looks like, is this another fan print? Yes. Look at this. You can see the top. Zig, 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 zig. This is another rough sketch that would become a fan print. Heian era people. What would really be fun, we have a ton of old fan prints upstairs. Some I haven't even opened the boxes yet. It would be so cool to find a finished produced fan that had come from this design. But I can't expect that something like that would happen. This is good. I saw this yesterday when I went through the batch. Look at this one. This now really has the mood of a Meiji era illustration. And a different scene. Is that writing on the tree? Is there some historical episode? Look at this. It looks like there's written stuff on the tree bark. Somebody's cut part of the tree bark off, written something on it. So again, there's a historical episode here. So somebody's mentioned Kuchie. We're in Kuchie. This is 18. What year was it? I forget already. You told me. This is just before Kuchie came. So this next one too. This is really showing its era. Look at this. This one too. This really shouts of Meiji era magazine illustration. Water wheel and boys with kites, not sure. So when I get a minute, the first thing I'm going to do is sort them out into groups. We'll put the kids' stories together, put the historical ones together, put the farm ladies practicing together. Just over the years, these things have all become totally mixed up. And then I'll ask Rose-san to start doing some research. Can she find the name? Can she find any reference to this guy's name? Do we know who this is? If we can learn who this guy is. What's this? Oh, look, somebody's sleeping. Kid's studying, falling asleep. Are these his two friends making fun of him, or what's the story here? Back to the kids. It just goes on. There's 1, 2, 3, 4 left. Back to the kids. I can get the idea, if he'd been commissioned maybe to do a book of children's activities, or maybe, for example, a magazine series, and these would have been the kind of things he would do first at home. He would do sketches and try this and try that. And maybe there's a level of sketch that's even before this one, just scribble sketches. Here's another triptych. 3 designs on a single sheet of paper. Oh, look at this. It says Jakuchu. Now this is not, and there's no way, this is not signed by Jakuchu. This guy's saying this is a Jakuchu style drawing, and it is. It's kind of it's a peacock kind of thing. Jakuchu is known for this. Look at this, look at this, look at this. So yeah, let's have a look at that one. So part of your study, you copy stuff, you just draw and you copy and you draw and you copy. I'm not quite sure what's happening there. Where's the head of the bird? I can't quite see it. Chinese story, kana? Another group of 3. Thing is, there's lots of explanatory text here, you know. It's so archaic, there's no way I can read it. But to anybody with the skill to read these will read it. Oh, what's that? That's a guy carving dolls, to show. A wooden doll carver? Is that what he's doing? Left. This is a bit of a funny one. I saw this. This was on top when I opened it the other day. I've gone through backwards here. Look at the size of this dude's head. What's wrong here? There's a story here. Every one of these has a story that I just don't know. But we can look it up. Look it up. Look it up. And what's the last one here? Last sheet. Oh, it's another Hokusai manga type stuff. Look at this. Look at this. It's another good one. What are we seeing? I'm not quite sure. Random characters? Is there a theme? I have no idea what we're looking at here. Maybe there's a theme. Maybe it's just random characters. Anyway, there you have it. Nothing at all to do with our woodblock printmaking at all. But just when I saw this the other day at $40, I thought, oh, come on, give me a break. I cannot let that go by at $40. Let's put this into our collection. Show people, maybe get some of these online. My daughters, you know, they see me buying stuff like this and they think, oh my God, his pile of stuff just grows and grows and grows. But whatever. And as I said, actually, stuff like this really comes up every day. And already I've noticed this today. Because I bought this the other day, Yahoo Auctions is now saying, okay, I get it. He wants to see more of that stuff. So it's showing me now more and more of this same type of stuff. Will any of these actually become prints here at Moko Hong Kong? Who knows? It's quite possible, you know, if we need some thematic material somewhere along the line. Who knows? It's obviously public domain from an era like that. It's out in the open. Okay, Monday we've run over, so man, have we ever run over time. I'm sorry, whatever, can't be helped. I guess those who've gone, those who stayed to see it. I'm now going to get back to work on this color separation work. I've got to finish this today. I will not be continuing this on the next stream. It has got to be done today and out of here to Kawasaki-san. Because she is waiting now Monday morning for her work. I should be on this right now. It's okay. Thanks. Talk to you again. I'll be here in 3 days. I'm off now for Tuesday, Wednesday. I'll be back here Thursday morning. Hopefully. Should we end the same way we usually end these days? I'm going to go to the vending machine and buy a bottle of water because I am thirsty. Thanks, guys. See you on Thursday. Thanks for watching. Interesting or not, I don't know. Anyway, hang in there. See you soon. Oh, she's sweeping. You can see her in the camera. Got it? That's the bag lady sweeping up in front of her shop. Okay. See you next time. Bye-bye.